We got another aftermarket winner, and AppLovin. Shares of the software business are up big. George Tsilis joins me. GT, quite a journey this stock has been on over the last few years. Has swung from like $100 plus coming out of COVID in 2021 down to $9, and now we're at $177. Pretty amazing stuff. Aftermarket 206 right now, GT. So what's kicking in here? Everybody making apps?
Well, I mean, ideally speaking, this has been a remarkable play. I mean, just going back a few months, I noticed there was a tremendous breakout on the 10th of September. So it looks like they've got some additional contracts and monetization, or essentially some emerging opportunities that manifested into their business. But I mean, it's a software company that focuses on, marketing and monetization of apps, but they also focus on the connected TV realm as well. So they have a growing online presence. They're competing in the right space, I think, at the right time. But for some reason, and it could be additional contracts or user interface that they're trying to monetize a lot better for their customers, is really taken off. But if you take a look at the report, just numerically speaking, they reported GAAP earnings. Looks like $1.25 was the number. Compare that to 94 cents estimate, and that's still a tremendous, 300+% increase relative to the 30 cents they earned for the same quarter last year. And they're doing it on sales, which essentially are growing about 39% year over year. They beat the estimates at 1.19 billion versus 1.13. And their software platform revenue increased by 66%. And I think it's that their connected TV software platform that's been growing. Obviously, there's been a lot of marketing demand because of elections across the board. That might be a catalyst that we've seen since September in this name, but they're really monetizing their sales quite tremendously. If you just look at the EBITDA growth compared to sales growth, with sales growth, for the quarter, up nicely at 39% annually in the last 4 quarters, excluding the quarter they just reported, 37%. And their EBITDA grew, excluding this quarter just reported, 121%. So operating leverage, they're generating more of it as a business, and the stock has really reflected that performance, and it's rewarded shareholders quite nicely. Excluding the after hours move, the stock is up over 300+% on a year-to-date basis.
All right. It's quite a swing, and I think the AI stuff means something here. There's a good bit of gaming design that once you know the direction you're going, you could kind of just set it to go. So that's going to help too, I think. Yeah. Same thing, kind of reminds me of GoDaddy, right? We just had the GoDaddy team on this past week, where you're building websites and they're using AI for that. I mean, this is very similar, but for applications, for games, etc. I mean, they're doing buybacks now, so Qualcomm's doing buybacks, AppLovin's doing buybacks. We're back, baby. We're back. We never really went anywhere, but we're back.
Yeah, ideally. I mean, this never went anywhere. I mean, Qualcomm, obviously a nice move in the after hours with the $15 billion share buyback announced, and there was earnings estimates going into that quarter, which were sort of underwhelming. So the beats obviously help. The buybacks also help. And in this case, what I have noticed too in AppLovin is there's a lot of folks that are still not convinced of this business. The short interest, just going back about 2 quarters ago or 6 months ago, was around 15%. Last quarter was around 10%. It's still around 8%. So a portion of this move in the after hours is potentially some shorts who are forced to cover based upon the growing user interface and AI integration of their technologies with app development and the connected TV market. Makes this company sort of well positioned in the technology sphere for entertainment, but also for ad monetization for major companies. But they've done a great job. It's been a great turnaround. You did mention the move from the pandemic highs to the lows, and I'm going to put this in the same camp as Carvana. These are a couple stocks that made some tremendous turnarounds and have rewarded shareholders quite nicely.
All right, nice, good assessment, George. Thank you. Big rally to 213. Appreciate that. Nice little overlook stock and earnings. George Tsilis on AppLovin.